Consolidated PBY-5a Catalina of plain sailing. Taking off the Grumman FM2 Wildcat. We're not going to be seeing these aircraft in formation, but they're going to be performing individually, as the Catalina is doing now. The type entered service with the RAF with squadrons based in Northern Ireland during 1941, and it was...
You can see on the fuselage these large spherical windows. They're actually oversized. They were applied for pleasure flights when the aircraft operated, I think, in Africa.
Yes, there was an idea to use this particular one on an aerial safari operation, wasn't there? So they fitted these big blisters.
Yeah.
But of course, the original blisters on Catalinas would have incorporated machine gun positions.
That's right.
Yes, in VE Day. So the wingtip floats have come down here.
The Battle of the Atlantic was the longest battle of the Second World War, in fact. The U-boats were operating throughout. And it was only at the very end when the Kriegsmarine actually gave up their arms, and all of those U-boats that were still active, many of them, of course, didn't survive at all. It was a very dangerous preoccupation to be a U-boat, be aboard a U-boat during the Second World War. This aircraft, of course, was used widely for air-sea rescue. And in fact, this carries the artwork for Miss Pickup, the original Miss Pickup, based out of Halesworth in Suffolk.
Yeah, so this is Cruise Command Flight. I will say, I do think it looks better than that round. Yeah, well,
Yes, 503, and the aircraft was able to overfly this zone. Flying the Catalina for us today, in the captain's seat, Phil Pettit, and in the co-pilot seat, Jim Engine. In many ways a pretty basic machine, but its flying characteristics were very good, even when it was operating from heaving aircraft carrier decks in open seas, and we can see something of its manoeuvrability being demonstrated during this display. 13 squadrons of Swordfish were operational within the Fleet Air Arm on the outbreak of war. Really, the Royal Navy should never have gone to war with such an outdated aeroplane as this in a leading role. It illustrates some of the complacency that had gone on during the 1930s when it came to military procurement and future threats.
But its manoeuvrability and its slowness actually made quite difficult to shoot.
It's found it difficult to track them. And they also struggled with close-in targets, as the Swordfish were. It was a bit of a surprising drawback, I think, in terms of the equipment on the Bismarck, and it was rectified later on ships like the Tirpitz. Crucially also, Swordfish crews were very well trained in torpedo delivery. They practiced for this endlessly, as well as, of course, the aircraft being very stable and controllable in all weathers and at night.
Lots of those battleships were sunk by torpedo. The observer giving us a good hearty wave.
The equipment on the Swordfish was extraordinarily basic. They had no properly accurate torpedo sight to calculate the layoff that they needed to, as it were, aim the torpedo when they were attacking a moving target. Instead, what they had was a row of flashlight bulbs mounted on a bar level with the pilot's eye line, and the distance between two of those fish was the sinking of the Bismarck. Swordfish actually hit it twice. The first time, aircraft made tremendous victorious G1 torpedo strike and slowed the ship down.
Yeah,